which has been assigned to Judge Trahan, which will be set for an expedited hearing, at which time Mr. Pope would have the opportunity to disprove what was alleged in our petition.
Tonight, suspended Lafayette City Marshal Brian Pope is facing a formal challenge to his re-election campaign, but he may not be the only candidate who's facing questions. For Pope, the issue is, as a convicted felon, he's not registered to vote, although he is appealing his convictions. But KETC Investigates uncovered other potential issues with his candidacy and for at least one other candidate in the race as well. Let's take a look at the ballot. The others on the ballot include Doosan Police Chief Kip Judice, former Lafayette Deputy Police Chief Reggie Thomas, Nathan Broussard, and John Trahan Jr. As Katie Easter reports, there's already a debate over the candidates for what has been a controversial position in the city of Lafayette.
In addition to not being able to vote, KTC Investigates uncovered suspended City Marshal Brian Pope also has $5,000 in outstanding ethics fine, in apparent violation of the Campaign Finance Disclosure Act, which requires that candidates don't owe any outstanding fines.
And it's not fair to the other candidates in this marshal's race. He is not eligible to run.
Amy Robinson is with the group holding Brian Pope accountable, which got the DA's office to intervene.
What I didn't anticipate was him actually having the audacity to qualify for marshal again. He wants to run for an office in a place where he's not registered to vote. He hasn't voted in any of our elections since at least December of 2018. You're not voting, but you want to be an elected official here.
But there are questions about other candidates as well. To run for city marshals, all candidates must be registered to vote at an address within city limits. Besides Pope, the other 4 candidates are, but worth noting, Nathan Broussard has a home in Scott where he claims homestead exemption. When reached for comment Thursday night, Broussard said he lives in Lafayette and will remove the homestead exemption once his house sells. There was no for sale sign outside that home Thursday night, and the qualifying form for candidates requires them to claim homestead exemption where they are registered to vote. Meanwhile, Doosan Police Chief Kip Judice listed Lafayette residents on his qualifying form, but he also owns a home in Scott. Before qualifying, he removed the homestead exemption from the Scott address. He tells us the only reason he doesn't claim homestead exemption in Lafayette is because he is on a lease-to-own basis. John Trahan Jr. and Reggie Thomas are both registered to vote at the Lafayette addresses where they claim homestead exemption. So far, Pope is the only candidate facing a formal challenge. If objections are raised, the DA's office would intervene as it did in the Pope case.
You basically sue them and they get an opportunity to explain to the court why they are qualified to seek the office. And we can't comment if we don't have any information that's been presented to us.
Katie Easter, KTC, TV3.
Now, if you have objections to any of the candidates on the November ballot, the deadline is tomorrow at 4:30 to raise those concerns with the district attorney's office.